Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So we got the crypto market today, market cap at 195.7 billion. We've lost a little bit over the last couple of months. Sellers have been selling off. Not too much going on in the space. Bitcoin dominance at 66.5%. Right now, Bitcoin's trading at 71.90. It's been holding around that area for quite a while now. Ethereum 143 and XRP 0.218. And so if we look at the Bitcoin chart here, you can see there is still nothing really dramatic happening. And, it's being mirrored in the rest of the space. So that's Bitcoin, guys. If you take a look at that trend there. So I'm going to zoom in here, guys. Bitcoin, this is so you guys can see that's Bitcoin trend. And then when you bring up XRP here, you can see it's the exact same trend. Let me bring it back and forth. Bitcoin, you can see the bears had taken over in late November, followed by a few pops of bullish momentum. By the way, this is Bitcoin on the daily. XRP, same kind of movement, albeit XRP is way further down on its overall chart. But same movement. Nothing is occurring that is out of the ordinary. So we just got to keep an eye on that. As soon as we see a Bitcoin bump, we will see the rest of these cryptocurrencies move. I found this while I was surfing the web. Ripple gets multiple mentions for the first time in latest CFPB circular. So guys, this release covered the amendments to the Electronic Fund Transfer Act as amended by the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act. So this was put out by the Consumer Financial Protection Board. And for those of you guys who do not know, the CFPB is an agency in the United States responsible for consumer protection in the financial sector. The CFPB's jurisdiction includes banks, credit unions, security firms, payday lenders, mortgage servicing operators, foreclosure relief services, debt collectors, and other financial companies operating in the United States. Its creation was authorized by the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act, whose passage in 2010 was a legislative response to the financial crisis of 2007-2008 and the subsequent Great Recession. So guys, this is what it had to say here. With regards to this, the circular also mentioned the major areas of the remittance market that they will keep a close watch on, Ripple being an example. So guys, this is a quote from the actual Bureau and what they said. The Bureau has continued to monitor the remittance transfer market since the publication of the assessment report and observes that most of these developments continue to progress. Examples include the continued growth and expanding partnerships of virtual currency companies such as Ripple, which offer both a payment messaging platform to support cross-border money transfers, as well as a proprietary virtual currency, XRP, which can be used to affect the settlement of those transfers. So according to the regulatory body, the multitude of developments in the space can provide ways in which banks could reduce their dependency on estimates in the future. The fact that a blockchain company was mentioned goes to show you guys how far the industry has come in terms of mass market adoption. That's still from the article. Earlier mainstream companies used to consider only SWIFT as a legitimate mode of capital transfer, but with the advent of Ripple and XRP, that has changed. So we're starting to see more and more of this. Governmental bodies and agencies taking Ripple seriously, understanding how they can leverage these types of companies and these types of digital assets to thwart a potential looming financial crisis in the coming years. Guys, I also saw this from you today. XRP liquidity index surges past 9 million, leaving previous all-time highs behind. It seems like every day we're seeing a new all-time high for this. So this with regards to the USD Mexican peso corridor. The Ripple invested Mexican Bitso exchange is a partner of Ripple and MoneyGram in the Mexican on-demand liquidity corridor launched this year. Bitso is the largest Mexican exchange, and its participation in the Ripple and MoneyGram project has been successful. So the liquidity index for the XRP MXN pair is growing fast, leaving behind one all-time high after another. Today on December 14th, this index has taken a new level and got over the 9 million mark, with the daily progress being 92%. The highest liquidity mark achieved previously was slightly under 8.5 million, guys. And here is a little diagram from Liquidity Index Bot at LiquidityB on Twitter. I'll bring it up here on Twitter for you guys to see. Liquidity index for Bitso XRP Mexican 28-day moving trend. Day progress at 92%. Today so far, just over 9 million, and formerly the all-time high 8.5 million, guys. And you can see just that spike over here, okay, just over the last couple of days. We hit highs, it seems like just, yesterday. I mean, it was last week, but we kept seeing new highs being achieved over the last several weeks, okay, in December, November, December. As you guys can see, this graph just keeps growing and growing, and now boom, here. at just over 9 million. So liquidity keeps building, it keeps growing through that corridor. It is one of the most popular, most used corridors, the USD to Mexican peso. A lot of transfers continually going through there. And guys, somebody posted this in my comments section. I'm sorry, I forget who it was, so I can't give them proper credit. But did you guys know that the Federal Register, right, this is federalregister.gov. This is an official government document, guys, and they're talking about remittance transfers under the Electronic Fund Transfer Act Regulation E. Going back to that first article I was talking about, so this is the actual document, and they discuss Ripple in here. So here's the passage here that I was reading before from the former article. Guys, I will link this document in the description. It's quite lengthy. If you want to read the entire thing, you can. I always like linking everything in the description because there are always people who want to get more in depth into, some of the details with these things. I tend not to dwell on the details. I tend to kind of hit the main points and move on just so I can give you guys the gist of each article. And finally, here's one on Twitter, guys, from Kevin Cage. I'm sure you guys follow him on YouTube. If you don't, he's got really great videos. This is Kevin Cage on Twitter at Kevin_Cage_. And when I read this, I tend to feel the exact same way. Every single person invested into digital assets is a badass, in my opinion. They connect the dots. They want more out of life. They take the risks. I commend everyone that is being proactive to improve their circumstances. Many people are too afraid to even try. Respect. There are always going to be naysayers out there. There are always going to be people telling you that your investment in XRP is probably the stupidest thing you could do. Why do you keep dumping your money into that fake currency, I've heard people tell me? Isn't that the lazy way to get rich, other people have said. Yeah, but when is this thing actually going to go up? I've heard more people ask. But despite all the negativity, despite the naysayers, and despite the doubters, we all know that we're in this for the right thing. We do our own research, we connect the dots, as Kevin says, and when you've proven it to yourself, when you can see the connections, and you hear about the partnerships, you listen to Brad and David and Chris all at these conferences, discussing the future possibilities of blockchain in the financial world and how XRP is going to be leveraged to conduct transactions in a new and improved way from yesteryear. To me, I'm actually surprised that more people don't see this and that more people aren't invested in XRP. The information's out there. All you have to do is open your eyes, listen to what's going on in the space, sit back, enjoy those gains once the market starts pumping. Anyways, guys, that's just my opinion, a short video today, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.